to what? Can you allow me to renew our argument? And so first let me have a rebuttal to the statement made by the opposition. First, the opposition states that a good decision requires extensive experience and that they forgot to explain what kind of experience, because the experience that we need in the current era in the digital world is experience that correlates with technology. And our second speaker has also explained how technology changed our world and that many things in our world being integrated with technology. For example, in school, we use e-book or online book to study, and to do the tasks like the UTBK or TKA, we are using computer. And so we also need a good principle in our school in order to be aware of artificial intelligence and its danger and to limit its tolerance. And not just that, but in economy, when we are saving our money in the bank uses that money in order to invest or trade stocks across the global market. But they forgot that in the current era, many countries are actually not using humans to trade or stock, but they are using a mathematical, they are using a math algorithm and AI models in order to trade the stock as many people know of the algorithm. And so they also forgot that the one that are having in charge of the decision of something in corporation or in a country is not only the leaders, but also its vice president, the ministry, and etc. And so what I mean is that even if the leaders are a bit impulsive or may lack a bit of experience, there are still its vice president or its secretary that will have the young leaders in order to overcome challenges. And so not just that, but the second speaker of the proportion team also said that without experience, calculation may miss. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to underline the word calculation here, because calculation, most of it are not it's not done by humans, but rather by computers. And so what do we need? And so what do we need in our current era is people that are more aware and familiar to computer or technology to do calculation. And so that are my rebuttals for the opposition team. And so let me further strengthen my argument. And so as stated by my first speaker, the term young leaders are young in the sense of their physical and mental capacity, but the fact that they are new leaders. And so before someone can get into a leader rank, they must climb through the position first. And so before they can get into the leader, of course they have to be a CEO or a chief technical officer first, or maybe they have to be a vice president, secretary, and etc. And so because of that, they do not lack experience, because they already have experience as those people in order to make decisions and etc. And so the perspective of the opposition are highly narrow, because they only think that the ones are taking charge of decision are only the leaders. And not just that, but ladies and gentlemen, of course we all know that when babies are born into the world, they doesn't know about anything, and yet they can learn the language that their parents speak very rapidly. And so what I mean is that babies' brains are developed yet, and so they are more prone to be learning changes around the world. And so as stated by my first speaker, they said that the young leaders are people who are born in the 21st century, which is the age where technology came into the world. And so because of that, those young leaders, when they are born, they are already familiar with the technology itself. And so because of that, they learn the technology quickly and is very efficient at making decisions regarding technology. And so what I'm saying is that the generation that the opposition speak is the generation that are familiar with technology, because when they are born, the technology are still primitive, therefore they might lack knowledge regarding technology. And so our first speaker also said that the education of the old generation and the new generation are vastly different. And this is true because when we see in the previous generation, the education lacks technology, therefore the grade and the competence are easy to tackle. But now, because technology exists and it can detect when someone is cheating, it can detect when someone is looking at the other people answer in the exam, the competence are highly verified, and so we can verify the competence of the young leaders. Thank you.